Ladies, gentlemen, or what have you, I'm Orion Lovell.
And I'm Travis Mattingly.
And you're listening to Tooth and Nail, a monstrous podcast. Now this time we're going to do something weird. It ain't going to be Dark Souls right now. Right now we're just going to talk about a D&D monster.
Yeah.
That we like. We're going to be talking about ghouls.
Ghouls and ghastlies.
Yeah, ghouls and whatnot. And it's also kind of weird because we're both in the same room.
Yeah, this doesn't happen ever.
No. So I don't know how this is going to turn out. We'll all see. It'll be good.
It'll be both of us at various distances from the microphone.
Yeah,
ruining the volume.
Yeah, we'll pass it off.
Slowly but surely, we'll just keep talking like this.
Yeah.
And it'll just be like, yeah, it's in 3 dimensions.
Yeah, cool. So we're going to talk about ghouls in 3 steps. 4, maybe 4 steps.
Who knows? 5 steps?
We'll do the 5-step
a 12-step program about ghouls.
Yeah, boom. We're going to talk about a little bit about the lore about ghouls.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about what they are, what they're about. We're going to talk about what they do mechanically in D&D. And then we're going to talk about, like, things that we like about ghouls, how we would use ghouls in an encounter, that sort of stuff. And it'll possibly run us a cool half hour to 45 minutes.
Maybe. We'll see what happens.
So we'll see how that goes.
I've got a lot of backup ghouls.
Yeah, we got a whole. There are apparently like just a fuck ton of ghouls.
Look,
I'm finding
ghouls
out right
come in
now.
all shapes and sizes.
Yeah.
D&D just doesn't want you to know that.
I guess not. Because in the monster manual, there are only 2 kinds of ghouls.
Yeah, but other people have decided that ghouls are more than just stupid zombies.
Yeah, apparently there's a whole ghoul society.
Yeah. And we'll get into that.
Bada boom.
As for the ghouls as written, though.
Yeah, ghouls is written. So we're going to start out with ghouls in the monster manual in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, page 148, if you're playing along with us. And ghouls are basically, they're pretty much just zombie-esque creatures with a little bit more stank on them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're sentient because they can speak common.
Yeah.
But
they're intelligent, they are undead, but they're more bestial than undead.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. They're like zombies that are like werewolf intelligent almost.
Yeah,
they're still a sentient creature. They're not totally brainless and dumb.
Yeah.
But do you want to have a conversation with a ghoul?
Probably not, no. Probably not.
So I guess they're elf worshippers of the demon god Orcus.
So we were talking about this. Pretty much, if it's undead, it traces back to Orcus.
Yeah, blame everything on Orcus.
Orcus is evil. He's the evil. Stay with me now. He's the evil god of undeath, and if there's an undead thing, it's Orcus's fault.
Yeah, he takes his worshippers, who love him very much,
yes,
and he slaps him in the forehead, and now they're zombies.
Boom. It's my preferred brand of cults is the one that ends up with me being a zombie at the end.
Of course.
It's weird how in things that gets rationalized, because that's the same basic concept of Dead Space, right?
Yeah, I guess it is.
It's funny watching fake cults, and possibly real cults, rationalize turning into a zombie as the end game.
I guess that is kind of like a real cult thing. That's at least stereotypically a cult thing. It's like, we did everything for you, oh evil master. Kill us now.
Make us zombies.
Yeah, use our bodies for horrible things.
Turn us into some fetid boys.
Just a bunch of fetid boys.
Some gross fetid boys. So these are zombie-esque in the fact that they are driven by this ravenous hunger for humanoid flesh, as it says in the Dungeon Master Dungeon Lab Blab, as it says in the thingy.
The Monster Manual.
The Monster Manual, yeah. As it says in the Monster Manual, they're driven by a insatiable hunger for humanoid flesh. Like maggots or carrion beetles, ghouls thrive in places ranked with decay and death. A ghoul.
I don't know why, but my brain inserted the word dank. I think it was rank. I think that's what did it. Place is dank with decay, is I think what I read.
Yeah.
So okay, so they, right. So they haunt in a way.
Yeah, they hang out.
They hang out.
They party.
They have a haunt.
Yeah.
In places where there is decayed flesh.
Yeah, so, you know, you kind of want to hang out close to where you can eat easily.
Yeah.
So it hangs out in places like graveyards and, it would be cool to have, like, a ghoul level that was in, like, a butchery kind of place.
Oh, man, yeah.
That would be kind of fun.
Like a depths sort of place where everybody's ghouls and there's just a ghoul butcher.
Yeah, and there's just, well, I mean, that's kind of what it is, right? Because those butchers are cannibals anyway.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. But that would be really fun.
Yeah, just like, well, that's another thing, is that you kind of have to make interesting encounters with these monsters and stuff like that, because eventually going to a graveyard for the umpteenth time and finding a ghoul for the bajillionth time gets a little stale. Yeah,
you gotta kind of make your fun, because ghouls are definitely, they have been around as long as anyone can remember. So you gotta get creative with them.
Yeah. Lore outside of Dungeons and Dragons tends to have ghouls be like the thralls of vampires or the thralls of powerful mages.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting to me that D&D decided to, I don't know, make them the way they did. It seems like ghouls are very separated from every other monster.
And it's so weird, too, because they're just zombies, but with some extra stank on them.
Yeah, they're literally stench.
Yeah.
But, there's a lot of monsters I find in... I don't know about the other editions, because I haven't really read the other monster manuals that much. But 5th edition, a lot of monsters are kind of reskins of other monsters.
Yeah.
Included to say that they have them.
Yeah. So, yes. But, okay, so, like, there's a little bit of extra stuff to ghouls that make them a little bit cooler than zombies. Most dominantly, so, like, the thing that separates a ghoul from a zombie is this ability to paralyze. Basically, I feel, how much should we talk about how D&D actually works? You know?
Yeah, it's hard. There's a lot of mechanics.
Yeah. So basically there's a chance to paralyze whatever it claws at. And the coolest way that I've heard this used is the idea is you get a swarm of them, you get them to paralyze something, and then you just have them drag the paralyzed thing off to eat it. So
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so it's just helpless, and you have it drag it away to its lair where it can be devoured.
That's great. I never even thought about doing that. Yeah. Usually it's like, it's paralyzed, so every attack against it's a crit.
Yeah.
Which is like the D&D thing to do.
Yeah.
I never think about using those mechanics for like
and then
horrible storytelling.
Yeah, and then you can get it away from the healer and everything and just turn it into a big problem time. And that's probably the most interesting way I can think of to use a ghoul.
Yeah. So you would need like at least 2 for that.
Yeah.
Ideally, you've got like 6.
Yeah, well, these aren't terribly powerful.
Yeah.
So you can, they're only CR challenge rating 1.
Which means almost nothing, in fact, but it's basically like a party of third level adventurers could realistically kill 8 of these and not care.
Yeah.
But it would be interesting now that you've put that strategy forward, just to have like 5 of the 8 ghouls hold off the adventurers while 2 of the other ones paralyze and
just
drag
have a
away.
luncheon. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Opened my mind.
It's pretty cool. I've been dying to use that chestnut for some time. Yeah. I don't know.
I didn't really notice that ghouls paralyzing thing doesn't work on elves. Elf and undead, it says.
Really?
Yeah, it says a creature other than an elf or undead, because ghouls are all elves. They're elf worshippers of Orcus.
Right.
That's
so
what's
that goes
implied.
Back to the lore.
Yeah. But ghasts, who have been supposedly given extra abyssal energy by Orcus, do not have that restriction.
That's interesting.
It's just undead.
Yeah, so there you got ghouls, and then you got ghasts, which are like the next level ghoul.
Yeah, the ghasts are ghouls who have been infused with extra abyssal energy, creating ghasts.
Yeah.
It says they are little more than savage... Oh, ghouls are little more than savage beasts. Ghasts are cunning.
Yeah, and they take charge. They're the type A ghouls.
Yeah, they're the stand tall and proud ghouls.
Yeah, they're ghoul commanders, and they send ghouls out on ghoul missions.
Ghoul assassinations.
Yeah.
The like.
Install ghoul governments. We need to get our central intelligence... No, I don't know where I'm going with this.
Central ghoul intelligence.
Central ghoul intelligence. Ghasts, they have the extra potent paralysis, but they also have a couple of other things that they can do.
The less interesting of which is turning defiance.
Oh, I think that's actually kind of awesome. So basically, any ghoul within 30 feet of it, along with itself, they are completely resistant to the one thing that makes clerics, which is their ability to turn undead. So basically, you can, once you inject a ghast into the mix, you can make it a party of cleric killers.
It's not immune to it. They just have advantage on saving throws, which is still great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, a ghast does make it kind of a hard time.
Yeah.
Especially if the cleric blows their, like, one turn undead and it doesn't work.
Yeah, and then they're screwed.
Oh.
And it's another reason why challenge rating is so undefinable, because... So a ghast by itself is CR2, a ghoul by itself is CR1. You put them together and it's significantly more challenging.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's another weird problem of D&D 5e is that it doesn't really explain how to use its monsters adequately.
Everything is created in an isolated bubble.
Yeah.
Is kind of the problem.
Yeah, and it doesn't like provide the inexperienced DM with ideas. Like, it doesn't give you the, hey, paralyze them and drag them away idea. And I think that would be a good idea for maybe future generations, is to have a little, not just a stat bubble, but like a literal tactical
how to use
column. Yeah, how to use ghouls.
For instance, not to derail too much, there's an adventure module that has stat blocks for monsters in them, and it tells you how to tactically play their personalities.
That's pretty
It's for 3.5, though.
Yeah.
And I downloaded it recently just to check out what adventure modules used to look like.
Is it cool?
And it gave me... It's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
It gave me the personality types of all the commanders and how you would play them tactically, and the personality types of general mobs and how to play them depending on how much information they have on the party.
Huh.
Even just regular hobgoblins or goblins, it's like, have they heard of your party? Regular goblins might just run away as soon as the fight starts if there's no hobgoblins nearby.
Right.
Stuff like that.
So like layers of difficulty.
Yeah, and even if you don't play it just as layers of difficulty, it's like... It's just examples, right?
Yeah.
It tells you how to use a hobgoblin's phalanx ability, which is they can make goblins move 5 feet for free in a phalanx formation around them.
That's neat.
I wish everything had that, because just looking at the stat block for a ghoul or a hobgoblin, you're like, okay, I kind of get it.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have long notes.
Yeah, it's nice to have an idea of what to do with these things, especially since like I'm not the only person, but like I'm assuming I'm not the only person who has had a blank sheet of paper in front of them, had D&D in like 2 days, and had no idea of what to do. So yeah,
every week
he pointed to himself for those
every week.
Yeah. So yeah. So that is ghouls and gas. Gas, they also have this one other thing. It's called stench.
I like stench. I really do. It's essentially, like, on paper, it says that any creature that starts its turn within 5 feet of the ghast makes a saving throw. If they fail, they're poisoned.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're poisoned, you have disadvantage. To me, it's like anybody within 5 feet, if they don't pass that saving throw, they are barfing the entire time. Immediately, it's just they lose their lunch.
It's exorcist o'clock.
Yeah, it's just, And it's like, you're poisoned now. I don't know what to tell you.
That's pretty cool.
This nice cleric in white robes just threw up on herself. Whoops.
Yep. Ain't so white anymore. That kind of makes ghasts are kind of like the paladins of ghouls. They have just auras that make life difficult for the other team.
The aura of stench.
Yeah, aura of stench.
Oh, the paladin of Orcus is the worst paladin.
Yeah. Yeah. So, lay on me. What are these these strange extra kinds of ghouls?
So, those ghouls in the monster manual, being made by Orcus, are a little different than these third-party ghouls, which it's using the book Tome of Beasts by the Kobold Press. It's incredibly good.
Yeah.
It's got a frick ton of monsters in it.
Yeah, would recommend.
So, ghouls in general are created by being clawed or bitten by another ghoul.
Zombie style.
And it infects you with a disease, which, what is it called? Oh, yeah, it's Dracul fever. Yeah.
I get that every Halloween.
Yeah, exactly. Dracul fever. It's very hard to say.
Yeah.
Essentially, what it does is every 24 hours it lowers your maximum hit points and messes with one of your stats. I think your constitution.
Okay.
And it lowers your max hit points and your constitution until if you ever hit 0, or if it makes you hit 0, you are turned into a ghoul. Depending on how low you've gotten, you turn into a different kind of ghoul.
Huh.
If it has deteriorated you so much to the point of near death, you're just a basic monster manual ghoul.
Okay.
But if you are like a powerful wizard or something, you contract the fever and then are killed, you rise again as a Dracul, which is like a ghoul mage.
Okay, so like, so what you're saying is, if the fever itself just gets me down to 0 HP, I turn into a regular ghoul.
You turn into a minion, basically. You turn into a ghoul minion.
But if I'm Greg the Barbarian, and I have like 30 HP remaining, and then am killed by something,
you will turn into one of these archetypes of ghouls, which would be an Imperial ghoul, maybe, an Iron ghoul. It depends on the kind of your class.
Sure.
Your loadout, your mental state.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
It's essentially like just a ghoul class system.
Yeah.
And the more power... They tend to put it bluntly, there's a ghoul emperor who is kind of like the base point, I believe, of the fever.
Yeah.
He's the one who was the strongest when turned.
He's fine as hell.
Fine as hell, yeah.
All these ghouls, so the pictures that accompany with that, accompany them, they take these ghouls and dress them up in real swag-ass clothes.
He literally rules a court of ghouls. Is kind of like... that's why he's a Dracul who ascended. He's like the lich version of a ghoul.
Ghoul court sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
I would go to jury duty if I had to go to ghoul court.
How do you plead? Not eaten?
I still have the gavel from last time, so I can put a gavel sound in.
Wonderful.
No, I like the idea of the slow burn, slowly turning into a ghoul sickness disease. Yeah. I think that's bringing it kind of back to Dead Space. I think that's something that a lot of zombie stories lack, is the slow burn, the kind of terror of slowly transforming into something else. So I'm glad that they put that in.
Yeah, and it's, I don't know, it's weird because it kind of incentivizes you, if you do get infected, to seek death or treatment immediately.
Yeah. Does it mention any way to treat it?
It's a disease. So any cure disease or remove curse or anything like that, it's literally a disease.
Okay.
It's not a magical infliction.
Right.
Which usually D&D kind of deals more in magical afflictions.
Yeah. So it basically just means that it's useless once you're like level 10.
If you get infected, as long as your mage doesn't die, you're probably okay.
Yeah.
unless you were already close to death and the killing hit infects you.
That would be pretty
In which
fun.
case you get to roll a d20.
Yeah.
And whatever your constitution modifier is, you add to it, and there's a table here for what you turn into immediately.
Oh, would you look at that? None victim is simply dead is an option.
Yeah. If you roll a 1 to a 9, including your constitution modifier, the disease kills you outright.
There we go. Not bad.
Yep.
Not bad.
These are obviously a little more dangerous than the ones in the monster manual. Weirdly, a Duraghoul is only a challenge rating 3.
Huh.
I think it's because on his own, he's a little bit weaker than other challenge rating 3 creatures.
Sure.
But it does have spells.
Yeah.
And it can do the fever.
Yeah.
So Tome of Beast challenge rating, I trust less than the monster manual challenge rating.
It's so weird. Like, and especially, it's kind of D&D's own fault because the monster table for when you're building a monster in D&D, the stats are so much higher than how they appear to be in the actual game itself in the rest of the monster manual.
Yeah. I think that this book tried to do what I would do with challenge rating, where it's like give the players the benefit of the doubt that they can handle it.
Yeah.
Because like putting a challenge rating 3 on that, I'm sure a party of 4 level 3 characters could kill a Duraghoul.
Yeah, like, especially D&D favors the characters.
Yeah, so maybe that's what they were going for with this.
Yeah.
What's the Ghoul Emperor? I don't know, hold on. Maybe we'll be skeptical here. Well, okay, Ghoul Emperor is 20. Okay. Challenge rating 20. So that's probably pretty accurate.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
I like having these extra levels of, these extra higher tier levels of ghouls just so you can have a boss.
Yeah.
But I also like the idea of just the higher the level of the party, just the more ghouls you throw at them. And so it's big old ring of ghouls.
Just a bunch of regular ghouls.
Just tons of ghouls.
Yeah, you walked into this crypt and 50 ghouls came out.
Pretty much. How cool would that be, though?
Fireball, boom. Feel pretty good.
Yeah, cool ghoul party.
Cool ghoul party.
Bada boom.
Cool ghoul pool party.
Whoa. That's a pool I don't want to go into.
Hey, it's a nondescript liquid pool, okay?
Definitely going to get an infection going into that pool.
Ghoul infection?
Some sort of ghoul infection. Hopefully it's a ghoul infection and not just like sepsis.
A staph infection.
The wizard gets the staph infection.
God damn it. Anyways, so some of the types of ghouls, aside from the Duraghoul and the Ghoul Emperor himself,
lay it on me,
that you could turn into, there are Imperial ghouls, which are essentially like they are the regular people of ghouls. So they have like an average intelligence. It's like 13.
Okay, that's weird.
They're kind of at the borderline of a person and a ghoul.
Okay. They're Twilight vampires. They're the ones you can have sex with.
Except hideous. They are the borderline of the intelligence level.
Sure.
In terms of the face, I don't know if you can see this picture, but it's rough.
Oh, so they're Fallout ghouls.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Imperial ghouls are like Fallout ghouls.
Yeah.
They're tall, they're kind of proud, just because they're like, well, this is what I am, I guess, now.
Yeah.
And they follow orders as well as any other soldier. They have independent thought, and they have the thing that ghasts have, the turning defiance, not stench.
Okay.
Surprisingly, they do not smell bad, I guess.
Oh, well, they're the ones you can have sex with.
Guess you're right.
Hey,
who am I? I don't yuck yums here. Okay? Yeah. There's another type, iron ghouls, which I don't know how accurate this picture is, but I like to think of them as the barbarians of ghouls.
Sure.
Because they're wild and crazy and covered in blood.
Right.
They have the turning defiance as well.
Okay.
Most high-level ghouls, I guess, do in this.
Yeah.
They are more about killing things than they are infecting them. Mm-hmm. I don't think they actually can infect, but they have the paralysis.
Sure. That
extends to their claws. So the idea with iron ghouls is to kind of put them put one in the back, one in the front, and have it supplement your regular ghouls.
Yeah.
As just kind of like a weapon attacking.
Yeah.
Guy.
Well, that seems to be the idea with all of these extra types is I need a boss at this particular stage of my game. Let me see what's in here. It has to be a ghoul. Here we go. Iron Ghoul is perfect.
Exactly. Then there's a couple other ghouls that don't fall on the chart. They're just kind of flavor ghouls for this book. One of them is a dumb one. It's called the Beggar Ghoul.
Beggar Ghoul?
The Beggar Ghoul.
Huh.
Beggar Ghoul just kind of... it has pack tactics.
Okay.
So the idea is it's like an undead in Dark Souls.
Sure.
Where you walk into a room and there's just a bunch of decrepit, like, starving ghouls lying around that can barely move. They have like a low movement speed.
They're difficult terrain, but with the stat block.
Yeah, they're the humanoid difficult terrain.
Yeah.
If you walk into a whole bunch of them, they get advantage on all attack rolls against you if at least one other one is nearby. And if it hits with its bite attack, if any of them hit with their bite attack on the first round, it's an instant critical.
Oh. So yeah,
so the idea is that a bunch of them swarm you and then get a surprise attack against your party, and every one of them gets advantage, and every hit is a crit.
What's their speed?
Their speed is supposed to be 30, but there was an errata to this where it drops their speed to 20.
Right.
To try to simulate like slower zombies, I guess.
Yeah.
I like 20 better than 30.
I like 20
it
better
seems
too.
a little absurd.
Yeah, it seems like they hit really fucking hard.
Yeah.
And so like I kind of like seeing these guys as difficult terrain, as like a spike trap with teeth.
That's exactly. They're like a trap.
Yeah.
Because like once you get them, they only have 13 health.
Yeah.
they're easily cut in half.
Yeah.
Their criticals do like 18 damage.
Yeah.
But when there's like 5 of them, that's still a problem. Still.
Yeah.
But I like them. I think it's an interesting. I like monsters that it doesn't. In a fight, they're kind of useless, but like when they get you off guard, that's when they really. It's like a punch.
Yeah, I like them too. I like the idea of environmental kind of damage monsters.
This one I have no experience with.
Okay.
Because I have not used it, and I've not spent a lot of time looking at it because it's absurd.
Okay.
It's called the Bone Powder Ghoul.
Okay.
And it looks like this.
It looks like Sandman.
It looks like Sandman made of gross... I think it's insects and rotted flesh.
If Sandman was made of the stuff that Venom was made out of.
Let me read you the flavor text for him.
Yes.
Distilled to nothing but dry, whispering sand and a full set of teeth, a bone powder ghoul still hungers for flesh and blood. Its dusty mass is perfected corruption, entirely animated by foul energy.
Huh.
So this is the kind of... It's a monster the Ghoul Emperor has created for his dungeon.
Okay.
Using the remnants of his ground-up allies, his minions.
What's the energy conversion between Orcus laying down some stank on Ghast and a Ghoul Emperor laying down some stank on a bone guy?
Let me tell you, how strong was a Ghast again? Like
CR2.
40 HP, CR2?
Yeah.
Bone Powder Ghouls are CR12.
Shit. Son.
They have 195 HP.
Give me some of that Ghoul Emperor energy. That's where it's at.
I really like the flavor text, because this is not something I would ever use more than one of.
Sure.
Because it kind of...
Well, the CR is so high.
Well,
It's
yeah,
definitely...
even then, like, in a room, this feels like there's a bunch of ghouls, and you kill them, and then they all form into a mass.
They do like a Grand Falloon, like a Legion.
Exactly, yes. They just kind of turn into a Bone Powder Ghoul, and it's like a big raid boss now.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's how I would do it.
Yeah.
It's got since it is just a mass of dust and sand, it has the amorphous slime thing where it can go through 1 inch, so it can slide under a door.
Yeah.
It's got the Turning Defiance for if you want to throw ghouls in the fight.
Right.
And then a thing called Coalesce, where it wraps around you if it's in your same space, puts its grave dust in your lungs, and sucks the life force from your lungs.
No. No.
And I think if it kills you, hold on, let me double check here. Yes. So while it is in you, you cannot speak and you cannot breathe.
Okay.
It is coalescing its dust in your lungs and your throat.
Pretty horrifying.
Yeah. And it can cast spells.
Oh, good. Jeez.
Darkness, Ray of Enfeeblement, and Finger of Death once per day.
Okay, so it is like it is your raid boss kind of.
Yeah, it's an evil energy. A bunch of you walk into a room filled with bones and corpses. They all turn to dust, swirl up, and boom, raid boss.
There's your guy.
Yeah. It's wild.
Yeah.
This is like the kind of thing, it's like you kill this and then there's a big door behind it and the Ghoul Emperor is in that door.
Yeah, it's your let me kill some party members today.
Yeah, exactly. How can I get you in a grave today?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all of the what's the word?
Standard ghouls?
Yeah, like the standard other ghoul archetypes that aren't the Dirac Ghoul.
Yeah.
So the Dirac Ghoul himself is essentially just a vampire.
Okay.
They don't feed like vampires do, as far as I'm aware.
Right.
That's like the level of sentience and intelligence they have.
Sure.
Is that they're kind of like higher beings.
Yeah.
It's almost like if you were a mage and got infected, you'd be better off turning into a Dirac Ghoul.
Right.
Because you'd get better in every way except for sunlight.
Yes.
Their level of darkness exceeds the regular ghouls to the point where sunlight begins to burn them.
Okay.
Because regular ghouls just get like sensitivity, right? They have like disadvantage.
So yeah.
But Dirac ghouls are like vampires in that they're harmed by it.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like this, like, I like the notion that ghouls don't really know what to be. They're like, we're not zombies, we're not, like, beasts.
Well, I think that's why they did this in this book, is that they gave ghouls, like, this lore of being elf worshiper cultists that were turned into very specific elf zombies. Yeah. But then, like, just made them zombies. Yeah. So they were like, we're gonna make fucking everything.
Yeah, we're gonna make regular people ghouls, we'll make, like, soldier ghouls, we'll make, like... Now we got vampire ghouls.
Yeah, barbarian mage vampire ghouls. Yeah. Who have stench. Yeah. Apparently.
They all smell bad. Prerequisite.
They are also... Dirac ghouls are masters of disguise.
Oh, yeah?
They can prepare disguises. Okay. Like, it's not like the spell. Yeah. They are... It is magical in a sense, but it's not casting disguise self. Mm. If they can study somebody and how they look, they can prepare a disguise for themselves to hide their ghoulness. Okay. I don't know if it hides their stench.
So these are...
Oh, it does. It says, oh my god, while using this ability, Dracul loses its stench.
Cool.
There we go.
So these are like we gotta infect some people.
Yeah, it's quietly. Like, how do we... Walking through the town at night looking like a regular person. Not during the day, because that'd be a problem. Yeah. But walking through the town at night, go into a tavern, find some drunk guys. Whoop.
Now we got some ghouls. Right on. Pretty cool. Having all these things, it'd be cool to have like a big old ghoul campaign. Yeah,
I think the idea for these ones is that they have like their own kingdom in the Underdark, in one of the unexplored corners of the Underdark. Yeah. And I think it'd be cool to like... I've always wanted to do a campaign where you start off as prisoners. Yeah. And it'd be neat to be prisoners in a ghoul city in the Underdark. Because there's already ghouls, or a prisoner in the Drow city in the Underdark campaign.
Yeah. I was gonna say, Travis, let me blow your mind.
Oh, yeah.
There's exactly that.
Yeah, no, isn't that Into the Abyss?
Yeah, Into the Abyss starts out pretty much exactly like that.
Well, I think that's what made me want to do it, is I read about Into the Abyss. But that one sells itself as being about demons, but it's very little about demons.
Is it? I haven't actually read a whole lot about it.
It's mostly about Drow City, and then at the end, it's like, there are demon lords coming, and then you play Rage of Demons is the follow-up adventure. Right. And even that, it only builds up to fighting one demon lord, and then that's it. Yeah. But I don't know.
Wizard of the Coast, they're always going to go with their drow instead of anything else.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, yes.
It's just how it is. People, they send out what people want to play.
Drow are okay. They're just fine.
Yeah, I mean, we all had a Drow phase, right?
I did. Yes,
I had one as well. But I agree. Now I'm kind of lukewarm on Drow. I think they're overdone. Drow are like dark elves. They're the edgelords.
Yeah, and then now they've reintroduced Shadar-kai, which are like the extra edgelords. They're just Drow, but they aren't. Their skin isn't gray or black or whatever.
Yeah, we'll talk about them at some point.
Yeah.
Is that our ghouls?
Do you want to know about the Ghoul Emperor?
Yeah, of course. I mean, like, we've come this far.
That's true. Okay.
Tell me about the Ghoul Emperor.
So this is the big bad.
All right, this is like the highest tier ghoul.
This is Ghoulstrahd.
Yeah, this... Okay.
Ghoulstrahd.
Ghoulstrahd.
His little flavor text, it's kind of small. It's the intro. This man of middle years with black hair and flesh as white as ivory
Weirdest dating simulator ever.
Yeah, wears black and purple clothes and a silvery crown set with emeralds. His feet are sheathed in black boots and his arms and fingers covered in rich gold and silver jewelry. However, he holds a skull-topped scepter of power. His name is Emperor Nicephorus the Pale.
So this is a unique... Like,
yes,
there's only one Ghoul Emperor. Okay.
That's what I mean. This is the Strahd.
Okay.
He's Nicephorus the Pale. He's the Emperor of a subterranean Durakul empire.
Okay.
He, from what I understand, there's like a little bit of flavor text here. He's very chill. He's like very civilized, and he welcomes people in if they're neutral or evil.
Right.
So, like, if a lawful good paladin comes in swinging his Holy Avenger, he's not very civil. He's defensive of his people, obviously. Right. But in a weird, like... You imagine the Ghoul Emperor as being like a dictator.
Yeah.
But he runs this empire like it's a regular empire.
Yeah, he's a solid guy.
Yeah, he's a solid guy, as long as you're not waving around sunlight like it's nobody's business.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah, I wouldn't even think I'd be like, yeah.
I mean, fucking why not, right?
Yeah.
We have ghouls that want to be whatever. Let's have ghouls be regular old kings.
Yeah, why not?
Does he do anything, like, cool based on his stat block that you can see?
So he does have one ability I like.
Yeah.
He just straight up has like a Hellish Rebuke style reaction every turn he can do called Blood Armor.
Okay.
Which is when he gets hit by anything he can see within 60 feet, they take necrotic damage equal to half the damage they did.
Oh.
So if a Holy Avenger comes in and is like, I blow all of my smite on it, they take half all of that damage as necrotic damage.
Pretty good.
Immediately.
Yeah.
He also has, I believe, so he has all of the spells that he could need, such as Finger of Death, Power Word Kill, Power Word Stun, Circle of Death.
Your necromancy ones.
Teleport.
Okay.
Dimension Door. Everything. He is essentially just a high level mage.
Sure.
But he has sunlight sensitivity. He takes damage from sunlight, so obviously. He also has automatic resistance against turning. Because he is undead. Yeah. He is technically still undead.
Right.
He has resistance to turning, so advantage. But other than that, it's mostly about his lair actions.
Right.
Because he is still just a guy.
Yeah.
He's just a ghoul that's powerful.
Right.
But if you're in his city, it doesn't even have to be necessarily in his room.
Okay.
If
you're in Ghoul Town.
If he's around and you're in Ghoul Town fighting him, he can use a lair action to make all other undead or all people who are not undead or constructs take 7 necrotic damage.
Okay.
Just if you're around him within what is it? Oh, it's just if you're in his lair.
Okay.
And you're not an undead or a construct, he can just 7 damage.
Right off the bat.
Just right off initiative count 20, 7 damage. Boom. He can target a creature within 30 feet, make them make a saving throw, Constitution, or they take 18 necrotic damage. He sucks the blood from them, eats it, he gains that health.
Boom. So this is like a vampire.
Yeah. And then he does a mage thing. His last layer action, which I used in an encounter in a game you weren't there for.
Right.
He can just anywhere in his lair make a wall of ice spring up from a surface within 100 feet of him. Sorry. The wall is 60 feet long, 10 feet high, 5 feet thick. He essentially gets a free wall of ice. With all of its normal restrictions. It has AC 10, 15 hit points. Each panel has 15 hit points.
Right.
It's immune to cold, poison, and psychic damage. And it lasts until either the Ghoul Emperor uses that layer action to make another one, or the Ghoul Emperor dies.
How much HP does it have, can I ask?
The Ghoul?
Yeah, the Ghoul Emperor.
The average is 204.
204.
Which is only 10 more than the Bone Powder Ghoul.
Yeah, so it's not very much. So this isn't like a long-term fight, especially since, we talk about it being a ghoul vampire, but it's missing its regeneration that vampires get. So this is kind of a...
Yeah, his regeneration relies on his layer action.
Yeah, his layer action. So this is kind of a quick and dirty, like, dump as much damage as you can, and then he gets the, like, ha-ha! Let me hellish rebuke you, back some of that damage. Mm-hmm. Kind of fight.
Yeah, if he deals as much damage to you all, he can power word kill one of you.
Yeah.
He can hold.
Yeah.
He's got hold person and hold monster just in case.
Quick and dirty fights I think I kind of prefer though. Like the fast, like, oh Jesus God, oh it's done.
He does have he can both give you direct ghoul fever and paralyze you like a ghoul can, which is good.
Yeah.
Because if they had taken that away from him, I think he would lose a little bit of his bite.
Yeah, it would be weird.
Yeah.
If he didn't have it.
He can make 1 bite attack, 2 claw attacks, and 1 attack with his scepter. Just so he can bite to give you the fever, paralyze 2 people, and then whack someone with a scepter.
Yikes. That reminds me of Orcus, how Orcus attacks. He gets a lot of similar stuff like that in his stat block in whatever it's called, Tome of Foes or Mordekainen. I can't remember.
The new one? It's Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't actually read any of the Demon Lord stat blocks yet.
Pretty cool. Orcus is my favorite.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Orcus is always cool, so...
Yeah.
Let's talk about Orcus.
We'll talk about Orcus sometime.
Okay. There's also this book has things that I like.
Yeah.
This one has an entire the Lord's Subterranean section, which is in the Ghoul section, which tells you about the city, about the way the city works, about how each ghoul has its own place.
Cool.
Apparently there's NPCs like the Beggar King, which is apparently like the leader of the beggar ghouls, but there's no stat block for him, so I guess you're supposed to kind of make him yourself.
Yeah.
But I like that too. I like the idea of them giving you an example NPC and being like, go ahead and make him.
It reminds me of Blades in the Dark, the game that we play. It's this... it's not really obscure, but it's this kind of newer, more story-focused RPG that gives you a lot of example NPCs to play around with. And yeah, it's good. It's nice to... I'm always a fan of when D&D books give you something to play along with to help along the, the inexperienced or just kind of creatively exhausted DM.
Yeah.
No.
I was just reading this real quick just to see, because I haven't actually looked through all of the Lord's Subterranean thing. Apparently, there's a little variant thing for your city if you don't feel like Lord Nicephorus is enough.
Right.
There are actually 4 great ghoul emperors.
Oh.
There is... there are 4 great emperors who ruled the ghouls, each giving homage to the death god Anu Akma. There is Mordigian, the demon lord of ghouls.
Okay. That seems like you should just cover it all.
Yeah. Tonduril the Bonebreaker.
Okay.
Oh my god. That guy has a lot of subtitles. There's Tonduril the Bonebreaker, founder of the Temple of the Hunger God, Thane of Necrophagy, and the General of the Royal Bastards Legion. That guy's got a lot going on.
I want to be a part of the Royal Bastards Legion. Those guys suck.
Immediately after that, his rule did not last.
Well, it's hard. It's hard to stay a part of any government when you're the leader of the Royal Bastards Legion.
Oh, man. There's a ghoul who was specifically made from a drow, apparently.
Of course.
And she is the Empress of the Spider Goddess.
Okay.
And there is a ghoul that seems to have been made of a dwarf who is a follower of the Forge God Voland.
Neat.
So they kind of have four races of ghouls.
Yeah.
As opposed to them all just being elves, I guess.
Yeah. That's neat.
Yeah, there's a lot of lore in here.
Yeah, I wonder if their paralyzers work separately on their individual things.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Thank you so much for subjugating yourself to our nonsense.
I hope you learned something neat about ghouls.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed Ghoul Talk. Look forward to more of stuff like this in the future.
I got a lot of monsters I'd like to talk about.
Yeah, until next time, what should we keep an eye out for? What ghoul-related things should we keep an eye out for?
Watch your exposed skin.
Yeah.
Don't let anybody who looks like they might be a little bit more flesh than skin bite your arm.
Yeah, and mind the Royal Bastards Legion.
Yeah.